Hello and welcome to Writing Quest. My name is Brendan Pugh, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to write a first pinch point in your novel. Huzzah! Alright, the first pinch point is essentially just where the looming danger begins to happen. So it kind of talks, foreshadows the villain, it brings in a little bit of danger, and starts off where everything up to this point has been based solely around the character. And so the first pinch point is where we start to get the outside threat of the villain showing up. So here are 5 tips on how to write the first pinch point of your novel. Number 1, as I just said, it must foreshadow the looming danger of the villain. Now, you can do this in a lot of ways. You can reveal who the villain is. You can not reveal who the villain is. It doesn't really matter whether or not we actually learn about anything about the villain. What matters is that the threat is there. So you can be subversive about this. You can be just outright with it. But it basically just needs to, you're foreshadowing it. You're starting to feel the danger of the novel. So it's not, when you get towards the end of the book and you know who it is and it's an outright confrontation. It's the threat. It's the, it's kind of like in Lord of the Rings when Frodo gets the ring. It's like he knows Sauron, but he doesn't really have any immediate dangers until he starts going on the journey, and then the danger starts to slowly pick up. So it's just kind of that looming threat. So you're feeling the pressure, but your character isn't in danger, if that makes sense. Number 2, doesn't fully reveal the threat. Back to what I was saying before, you can reveal the villain and not reveal the villain. It doesn't really matter, but it doesn't, no matter what happens, it doesn't fully reveal everything. It just gives that looming presence. So this is a great time to kind of subvert your reader's expectations. You can kind of mislead them about what is the danger and what they are in danger from. And it's a great time to, foreshadow events. You can hide other villains in plain sight. You can make it seem like one type of character is the villain or not. It's really a moment for you to subvert the expectations, but you don't want to give it all away in this moment and save that for later in your story. Number 3, the hero is not in control of the situation. This moment with your villain and the looming danger is all about your villain being in control. So your hero has gone through the opening hook and the inciting incident, the buildup, the first plot point. All this stuff has been happening to them, and they're being pushed into the story that they don't really want to be a part of. And so when they first encounter whatever this danger is, whatever this villain is, or whoever it is, they are not in control. The villain is firmly in control of the situation, and the hero feels very out of control and chaotic and unsure about they are not prepared to handle this situation, because that's what the whole story is about. The story is about your character going from someone who can't handle the villain to someone who can eventually defeat the villain. And so this is the first part where they learn that they are not in control. Number 4, you can show or hide the villain. Again, we've talked about this a little bit before. You can reveal who the villain is or not reveal who the villain is. Again, it doesn't really matter. I'm a big fan of, again, let's go back to our Lord of the Rings analogy. Sauron is the villain, and we know that, but he's not really revealed necessarily in who he is. The ring wraiths are the bad guys, and the orcs are the bad guys, and Saruman is the bad guy. So there's all these other bad guys who are more of a immediate threat and danger, but that's not the true villain. And that's a really, for me, it's like I'm in that with my story where I'm trying to decide, how much of the main villain do I want to reveal? When do I bring him in? Who is going to be the more immediate threat in the beginning? And it's just really a point where you can reveal who it is or not. Like I said, Lord of the Rings is a great example because you know who the villain is, but he's not the immediate threat. And number 5, the hero is caught off guard and not equipped to handle the problem. So this moment, as we've talked about a little bit before, needs to be something that your character cannot handle. And not only can they not handle it, but it's very surprising to them and very nerve-wracking. So it really needs to totally shake their faith once again in everything that's going on. So they've had all these moments in the story where they are not in control and they're trying to figure it out, and then they finally made a choice with the first plot point and the impossible choice that they thought was going to get them to a better place because they're running from one fear to seemingly a solution. And this is yet again a reminder that they have no control of the situation. And not only do they have no control, but they can't even do anything about it. So it's definitely just that moment where you are piling on the uncertainty, but you're doing it where before in the impossible choice situation, you are doing it in a mental and emotional way. This is more in a physical way of the villain is here or some version of the villain is here, and now you are not in control. Well, that is our 5 tips on how to write an amazing first pinch point. I hope you learned something and liked this video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, ask questions if you have them. I love to hear from you. Thank you for watching this episode of Writing Quest, and we will see you next time. Huzzah!